hardship helps us to grow stronger and get more aware. And I always feel there's a reason for things. I always feel that whatever happened to me, there was a reason for it, and it made me become a better person.
Hey, I'm Ronja Sakata, founder of the Joy Academy and Queen of Joy. That's how my friends call me. It's so important to me that my life is full of joy and that I enjoy every moment, because I know how fast it could be over. We can do so many things to bring joy in our lives, to create joy, and that's what this podcast is all about. I talk with people and they tell me how they bring joy to their everyday life and how they create a life full of joy. So let's dive right in, and please tell me after the episode what your takeaway is from this talk. Welcome to another episode. Here is Andi Rondestvedt and my name is Ronja Sakata, and we're talking about joy and how to create joy and bring joy into our everyday life so that we can enjoy whatever is going on, whatever the circumstances are. We are responsible for our own joy, and Andi is an expert in that. Hello, Andi. Who are you and how do you live your life? And just tell something about yourself, as much as you want to share.
Hi, Ronja. Thank you so much. I love it here with you. I always love talking to you. And I feel honored to be here today.
Thank
you.
And
I am talking from California, where I moved from. That was now 3 years ago. We moved to California from Switzerland. And we have the same situation like everybody right now. We're staying home with my 2 boys and my husband. We're just staying around the house right now. And what I do is I teach German. I have started that pretty quickly after we moved here. I would say like maybe half a year after we moved. I started teaching just a few students, a few private students, German adults and children. And I have been growing that in the last couple of years. And that in itself is a lot of joy. I have a lot of joy teaching adults and children.
Having a job you love, that's something like the best thing to have for more joy in your life. If you hate your job for 8 hours a day, yes. I think that's unbelievably hard. So
I agree.
Good to hear that you enjoy your job. What did you do in Switzerland, and what's your background?
So in Switzerland, I was an elementary school teacher. After I was done with my school, I started teacher school when I was 20. I think I was 21 or 22 when I was done and I started teaching. I was teaching mostly 1st through 3rd graders. And after that, I changed and I studied at the Heilpädagogik, Schule für Heilpädagogik, and I was a special ed teacher after that for a while, until we decided to move here. And I've always felt I wanted to reinvent myself, but it took me a while to understand how would that look like. So there was a difficult period of time because I was looking for that joy of self-employment, just to do things that I really want to do. But it took me quite a while. It was a few years to transition and to actually know what I want to do next.
Could you maybe, your microphone and your hair are interfering, I think. Maybe it's better now. It's just better? Having a little sound. So why did you choose California, and what brings you to America?
So that really was pure joy. So I've always loved California. I was here the first time when I was 16. I came here for an exchange year. And that's actually not far from here. That town is about 1.5 hours from where I live right now. And I remember going back home after that year, and I told myself, I really want to live here someday. I love the people here, the openness. I love the weather, of course, the sun. I'm a big sun person. I love the beach. I love the ocean. The ocean has always given me so much. And I just feel there's a special vibe here. And I always felt drawn to this place here. So then I forgot about it. As I said, I went to teacher school. I did all that. I started my life. in Switzerland. And then after I got married to an American who is not from here, he's not from California, he's from Wisconsin. We lived in Switzerland for the first 8 years, and it was great. But then I could feel it was time for a change. It was almost like a midlife crisis, I would say, where I felt like things didn't feel right anymore. Basically nothing except my family and my friends, but just kind of like teaching there, just the way I was living life. I just needed a new challenge, I think, and I needed to find out, what do I really want? And for some reason, I was drawn to come here.
Yeah.
And that's really the reason why we came. And a lot of people ask us here, oh, that's usually the first question. Oh, did you come here for a job, or why are you here? Why did you move here? And then I say, no, it was actually really just because of the sun and the beach and the joy and the challenge. I mean, that really is a big part of it that I loved, the challenge to build something from zero, from the ground up.
And it's kind of the dream of everybody. Like, if I would have my bar at the beach in Costa Rica, I would be happy. And dreaming just, or saying you want to do something and not doing it, is even harder than not having this dream. And you just had this dream and you went for it. And I think that's so cool. Like, yeah, what do I want? And then go for it. Even in small steps. You didn't move like after having this thought for a minute. You prepared and
it was a long journey. It was a long journey. It was a long journey to get the green card. It was a long journey to get everything ready. And then when we came the first time, we didn't stay. We had to move back because we ran out of money. So we went back to Switzerland and we came again. And I know one thing for sure, that when you do have a big dream and you feel in your heart that's going to be the right thing for you, it will take a lot. And I mean that in the positive sense. I think I was always, during the time of the hardship, when we go through hardship, you are prepared. Life prepares you for what you're looking for, basically. And that I noticed that after a few years, that's what it is. It wasn't like, oh, I have a dream, I moved here and I felt joy. That's not at all how it was. It couldn't have been more opposite. I had moments of doubts and I felt like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not supposed to feel more joyful? Why is it not just going so smooth? But now, after 5 years later, after we made this decision, I have become a different person. And I feel now the joy of when I look back of what I did and what we've accomplished. Yes.
Yeah, a big dream. Even now, I watched a live stream of Bo Eason yesterday or the day before. Actually, Andy and I, we know each other from Switzerland. And when I was in California last May, a year ago, and I went to this live event of Bo Eason, we met each other in Santa Barbara. It was so nice to see each other again.
Yes,
live.
It was.
And Bo was talking about this whole crisis now, and you can't move anymore and you can't travel anymore. But he said, don't give up on your dreams. Like, your dream is still here, and just adapt to the situation. And something I really want to stress out, he said that I really think that, I think you do the same. Don't watch the news. Now you have to stay home, you have to wash your hands, and keep the distance if you have to go shopping, but just don't watch the news anymore. It's not healthy. It's not helping.
Absolutely. And that's what I focus on. I really focus all day on things that I know will lift me up. I mean, of course, there's challenging situations when your children are home, but it's always in the underlining thought, what makes me feel more positive? And watching the news is not making me feel more positive. But connecting with my German students online. We're all connected online now, so I teach online right now.
That's so cool that this is possible. I mean, you're in California. Amazing. It's 10 o'clock in the morning or 10:30, and it's 6:30 p.m. in Switzerland, and it's possible we can connect online. That's
absolutely. And that really brings joy. I can tell, like, when I have the group of people that I'm teaching German, or just, somebody like a single lesson or a private lesson, I can tell how much joy it brings to them and it brings to me. Or little things like, you sit outside in your backyard in the sun. That brings me a lot of joy right now. Or building my business more. I have a lot more time right now to build my business. Or have movie nights with the kids with ice cream in the evening.
Instead
Or
of the cinema, like,
absolutely, absolutely,
if the circumstances change, you can adapt and just do fun things within the possibilities. But
absolutely.
your mindset and your feeling are not connected to the circumstances. And I know
No, no,
it's
they're not.
easier said than done, and maybe you're
Well, and I think you can train your mind to do that. And I think the tool would be meditation. I think you have the power to train your mind that when a negative thought enters your mind, that you're aware enough to notice it is a negative thought, and that you replace it with a positive thought or a positive action right away. And the more you do that, the easier it becomes. And the more you are in that new mindset, the better you feel and the more empowered you actually feel. Because I think negativity has often is connected with, you feel like life is happening to you and you're really afraid, and what is going to happen to me? What's going to happen to the world? Well, when you're in the other mindset, you're saying, I have the power to feel good. I have the power to make this moment the best right now, to choose the best action right now, to be the kindest right now, to reach out to a friend. You have all these moments during a day where we can reach out and be positive and have a positive feeling, or actually share a positive feeling with somebody else.
But now if I would feel like really down and you're talking about, yeah, nice thought and positive feeling, I'm like, yeah, shut up. It's just not working for me. How you said meditation would be the tool. How can I learn that now to really change my mindset? Because it's hard. I always compare it with push-ups or some muscle training. At the beginning, you feel sore or like, oh, come on, that's not for me. But you have to stick. You don't have to. You can choose whatever you want, but stick
I
with it
agree.
and get better at
And
it.
there's a saying that nothing that is easy, or everything hard that doesn't come easy to you, or I'm not sure how the saying really goes, but it's really that meditation is the same way. You need to stick to it for weeks and months, or any kind of positive new practice that you do. And you will have to be patient, because it will take time until it changes your inside. I just talked about my journey from the last 5 years. And it took me many, many years to be at the point where I am right now. And yes, I know we tend to be impatient. Like everybody, all of us, we want to see a result right away. I want to feel better right away. But sometimes it's a fact that hardship, if not always, hardship helps us to grow stronger and get more aware. And I always feel there's a reason for things. I always feel that whatever happened to me, there was a reason for it, and it made me become a better person.
And it helps to look at it that way. Otherwise, you can be just crushed by life. But now this virus thing is going all around the world, and we can't travel. We are really like trapped in our homes, and now we can feel like trapped and as a victim of the whole situation, or we can make this time the best time of our lives. Not like,
Absolutely.
yeah, traveling is my passion, I can't go travel now. So go and do research about your favorite countries, and maybe you plan an awesome trip with your backpack or a hiking tour. You can now be at home, but in your mind you're free. And I know it sounds so cheesy, I just, that's the
We are
thing I want to ask you again. Like, if I'm really in a bad place and hearing you, maybe I'm getting angry, like, yeah,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
you two
mm-hmm,
sweet cheesy women are talking about things I
mm-hmm.
like. What do I do if I don't feel that this is even possible for me?
I think it's really important that we face the fact that we are faced to look at ourselves, like everybody. Like right now, we are with ourselves and with our closest family members. And that takes a lot of looking who we really are. What mindset do we have? What fears do we have? Why do we have these fears? Work through these fears. Faith is huge. I have been a faithful person at the beginning of my journey, but now I would say I have a faith that could move mountains, because I am so deeply rooted in my faith that I know that I'm taken care of. I know that as a fact because I've gone through so many situations, not knowing how we're going to pay the rent, or just different things in a new country where you were like, what am I going to do now? But then I was connected with my faith, and it always helped me. So I think when people are frustrated now or angry, it's important that they can try to step out of their own feeling and look at themselves from outside and say, this is the biggest chance of my life to look at myself and see who I truly am and to grow in this situation. I see this thing as a gift. I think it's a huge gift. And it's a gift for everybody, the situation we're in right now. But it's a matter if somebody wants to accept the gift or not. Like, am I taking this gift? Am I accepting this gift? Am I saying thank you and I make the absolute best of it by growing and getting stronger and becoming a much more aware person? Or am I just going to stay in my anger? I mean, everybody has the choice, right? I can just stay in my anger.
The choice. I can choose every day
Yes.
how and who I want to be. And that's something I'm preaching wherever I go. Like, you can choose. And when my little girl, she's 9, and once in the evening we're like pickering around. Is that the correct word? Pickering?
Bickering? Yes. Yeah,
And
bickering.
my husband runs a restaurant. He's at home now too, but he was away working. And my little girl said, Mama, I thought we can choose our mood. Why are you so grumpy? I was like, oh.
I love kids. That's the best.
For the reminder. And we really stopped, took a deep breath, each of us, and we had a beautiful, harmonious evening with eating dinner and going to bed because she called me out. I loved that. And I always remember that when I feel like, I say, no, I can choose. And I don't think we should be happy all the time like this. If I'm sad, I just cry, let it all out, have my panic moment or whatever. But afterwards, like picking myself up, like, what do I want? Okay, go for it. And then if you take care of your feeling, or also of your anger, maybe you have to box in your pillow for 150 times and you're exhausted afterwards, or you have a cry, and then what do I want to do?
Absolutely.
Can you choose?
Yeah. And I really think it's not denying. This is not about denying your negative feelings. This is about letting your negative feelings come up, but then decide, how am I going to move forward? Am I going to stay in the negative feeling, or am I going to change something and make myself feel better with thoughts, with positive actions, with faith, with anything like that? And that's an empowering feeling. And I think that's what everybody needs right now, because I think there's a lot of, this virus is happening to me, things are happening to me, the economy is happening to me. But when you start feeling empowered,
and I'm in danger, and all these feelings are
just, I think, change that, what you can change right now in your own home, and feel as good as you can about what you can change. And as I'm saying, I always feel good when I can be the best person I can be, because I can always see that it right away changes something. I have an influence, right? The way I talk to my children, or what your daughter said, that was empowering for her. She could tell that actually changed something to the positive. Yeah. And a lot of these little moments when we feel like we are in power of making the best and actually influencing how other people are feeling, that is huge for your own well-being and for your feeling of empowerment.
And if you are kind to another person, maybe this other person is not used to that. Maybe the response is not what you would like to expect, but you were kind. That's enough. And maybe you changed the whole evening for this other person because you were kind at the supermarket. Or even grumpy or angry persons, if you can stay kind or be kind to them, that's huge. You are changing the world in this little moment. And that's what I love about kindness and joy, and just little things can change everything. And also in your mind, I really ask you to stop watching the news, radio, also social media. You don't have to know how the numbers are increasing or whatever. You just take care of your own business, and by that you make yourself healthier and stronger. And
absolutely. And on Facebook and on Instagram, I just follow people that have positive things to say right now. more than ever, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm
That,
muting and
does this make me feel
unfollowing.
better, or does this make me feel worse? And if it makes me feel worse, then I'm done with it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very picky there too now. Like, don't post every article on something about this virus. Just I don't need it, and it's not good for me. And some people tell me you're not informed. You're
Mm-hmm.
is that in
Mm-hmm.
English too?
Mm-hmm.
Like, put your hand in the sand. Do you say that?
Yes, you can put your head in the sand,
Head,
absolutely. And
head
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
And I
sand.
know that's, that's a big one in Switzerland, because that's how I grew up. I know my dad, he said, stay informed, you got to read the newspaper, you want to be on the news. And yeah, for some people that's important. For me, I can tell my compass is what I feel inside always. So if something makes me feel bad, it's not the right thing to do for me. And then it doesn't matter if it's the right thing for somebody else. It's just not the right thing for me. So right now there's no news in our house. We can always listen to inspiring people talking. I love that. There's so many wise people full of wisdom and full of love and full of wanting to take this challenge on now that we're going to put positive change into the world. And that can also create a huge ripple effect when people listen to these kinds of people right now. And then everybody's in a better spirit and everybody's helping each other more. And I read so much right now about people helping each other, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, focus on the positive without denying your feeling. For me, that's like how I want to live life. And then I can show up on the stage of life how I want to be. Like you decide what kind of character you are. This movie of life, you're the director, you're the producer, and you're the main act, and you can choose how and who you want to
Absolutely.
be. And yeah, now we're inside the house, and if you're alone, even if you're alone in your house, you can reach out to friends, you can write letters, you can learn to meditate or learn and
There's everything is online right now. I mean, we
yeah.
just talked about it before. Like my German lessons are online. There's music lessons online. There's everything is online right now. So that is a huge chance for everybody.
And making a goal for this time, for example, again, my little girl, she was always typing and looking for the letters on the keyboard, like annoyed where to find which one. And then I all of a sudden I had the idea, like, you could learn to type. Is that learn to typewrite, like the 10-finger
Uh-huh.
system?
Uh-huh. Yes.
And now we found a cool online tool for 3 months for $15, and she's like crazy learning how to typewrite, and it's like
That's
learning
so
the
much fun.
piano.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and she's so motivated. She's not so motivated in school. She's not a school person, so she's super happy to not be in school.
That's
and
great.
and now she's just learning this with 5 hours of concentration, and do something you always wanted to learn, like a dance move or whatever you like, doing yoga. Become the fittest person on the whole planet. You
Yep.
have
Yep.
time now for things like that.
Yes. And I noticed that, like before, I felt like I was running around a lot. I was running around with the kids in school. I was helping out in school. I have my own business. I was driving the kids to sports, and there was always doing grocery shopping. There's always running around. And this time now where you can retreat and stay at home is, as I said before, it's a gift. I do enjoy it. Absolutely.
And it's the same situation for another person, like, I'm trapped, I'm not allowed to go somewhere, I'm not even able to go to the cinema. And the same situation can be so different, like how you feel and what
How
you.
you perceive it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And
So
do
it's
a
what you
reframe.
always say. It's always what you say. You always say that, it depends on how you see it, right? You always say that with joy. You're the master of your own life. You can create your own life. I mean, this is now true more than ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always true, but now we can actually feel, everybody, the impact that this mindset has on us.
Yeah, and what about people losing their job now? How like, we are talking now, we have our online business. It's we can
Mhm.
make money without any like store or
Mhm.
any handicraft business, or what
But
shall
I'm
we say
talking
to
right
people?
now. I'm talking right now for 5 years later. If you would have talked to me 5 years ago, I would have been in exactly this situation.
And what would you
When we moved
tell
here,
you?
let me quickly tell you, when we moved here, the second time, right? I said we moved here the first time. We ran out of money because the online business thing just doesn't happen so quickly. We went back to Switzerland. We came back here. Second time we came back, we had to put the money for the plane ticket on the credit card. We were out of money. So we bought the plane ticket, put the money on the credit card. And we had two things we knew for sure. One Swiss friend that lives here in California, she said, you can move with your family on top of our garage. We have a tiny 1-bedroom with 1 toilet, a tiny kitchen. We have 2 mattresses. You guys can start here until you find a place. Second thing we knew for sure, my husband had a job and he made at the beginning $600 a week. So we knew these things for sure, right? And I tell you again, what really helped me through this really difficult time, which it really was my faith. I believed that I'm taken care of. I believe in a more intelligent, in a higher power. I believe that when I connect with them every day, that they help me. And yes, I had to be patient. It wasn't like I prayed and the next day we had everything that we have now. But it really, really helped me through that time. So I can only tell anybody who would feel really, really frustrated about the economy, about losing the job, it's going to change. It will change again. It can take a while, but this is what I said transformed me, this hardship. The hardest times in my life made me the strongest. It's really true. I mean, we read it a lot, but when you feel that and you went through that time where you really suffered and you really were afraid and you really didn't know how you're going to do it, and you could tell that life goes on and you get all these gifts and opportunities are coming, they're different than from what you thought. I mean, that's important, right? We need to open our mind and just take the gifts that come our way. Don't be focused on, I need exactly this and this. Pray for what you need, but then also notice what's coming your way. I have done funny jobs. It's not like I have always done what I wanted. One of the things I've done to make money was picking lice off people's heads. It's like I did what had to be done. I worked in a lice clinic. I sold life insurance. I sold life insurances. I did what had to be done to reach my dream. And so I'm saying, if people stay open and if people stay connected with their faith and if people do good to other people, it will all come back to you. It does.
It's so beautiful to hear that from you. Like you really experienced it yourself, and this higher intelligence or universe, or some call it God, and it doesn't matter if you just
doesn't matter.
Feel this trust, or you say life or Mother Earth, or and
there is a higher intelligence. Yes.
Yeah. It helps to say, well, when I tell this story every time, but maybe you're the first time here and listen to us. I experienced death when I was 17. My friends started to die, like really in a row, in avalanches and car accidents. And it was devastating to realize, like, okay, life can be over anytime. And it was always a risky sport involved. So after the funeral, we gathered as friends and like, yeah, but he always was risking his life with any kind of sport or activity. But then my sister's best friend died because of a heart attack when she was 25 at home. Like, okay, that was like the lowest moment in my life. Like the awareness grew. Okay, I don't have to go to the mountains. I don't have to go skiing. I can die any moment, and that helped me because it's so ridiculous. It's like, okay, from that moment on, I don't have fear of basically anything, because I'm alive, and as long as I'm alive, I want to do something which brings me joy. I want to spend time with people I love or I admire, or just like I'm really what's the word, like I don't spend time with people I don't want to spend time with. So many people go to parties they don't like I don't want to go, so don't go, please. So getting really clear on what you want and then go for your dreams, that's now a hard time to open up to that. But it's the time of your life you can't leave home anyway. If you can pay the rent next month, I don't know, but you have a paper and a pen and just write down, what do I want?
Absolutely. And I do believe that, we can download a lot of things. As I said, I do believe there's a higher intelligence and we can connect our mind with that mind. So just this morning, I was laying in bed and I was just thinking and connecting. And then I had 2, 3 new ideas, and you can call them what you want, inspirational ideas or whatever they are. But when you're home right now and you have time, just write those down and see it as a roadmap. I think we always were guided and we get always little clues about the next step. And yes, sometimes we get like, we have a detour. I feel like, I probably detoured a few times, it wasn't really necessary to do this or that, but I was always, again, directed to the path that I feel good about and that I want to follow. So it's a time when we say that you are focused to look within, where you can really connect and feel that guidance also.
And just the next stepping stone. You don't have to know all the next steps, just the
Absolutely.
next stepping stone. And
Yes.
if you don't like where you are right now, think of it's just temporary. But while you are trapped now at home, think big too, like your big vision, like in 10
Absolutely.
years.
Absolutely. And I have felt so lost, as you just said, I felt so lost because I know my big vision. I know my dream. I know my ultimate goal. And sometimes in the years before you're there, you can feel so lost. Things can go wrong. Things go not the way you expected, or you have you take 1 step forward and 3 steps back. So there's a lot of moments of doubts and is this really the right thing? Is this really going to work out? But I think really what you said before, just to keep that big vision and to know the next step. Just know the next step. You don't need to know the big plan. You don't, and I think it can change too, it's just interesting. And I always felt like it was like a scavenger hunt. It's interesting. It makes life so exciting. What's around the corner? What's next?
What's around the corner? It's probably bad, you can.
Well, you have every moment a choice. You can either choose love or you can choose fear. And that's also everybody has a choice. You can choose, I'm afraid things are going to turn out bad, economy is horrible, everything's going down, how many more people are going to die? Or you can say, I choose love. I'm going to look within, I'm going to do the best I can right now, I'm going to be the nicest I can be to my neighbors and to older people, to my friends. I'm going to give service for free. And so that's the choice.
And maybe sometimes you were talking about meditation. Sometimes you just have to first take care of yourself, like of your body, yes. What you eat, what you drink, what you think. The thinking is so huge. To start with meditation or just sitting down and switch off the TV and just think, what do I want? How do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Like the movie analogy, like my movie of my life, I'm the main act. What's next? What would I love to create or do or let happen in my life? And we can't control the outside world, but we can control us. That's something a lot of people just, I am this way, I'm an angry person. No, you're not. But yeah, it's like,
and I think the challenge sometimes for people is that they don't know what they want. And that I agree, that is a challenge. Like I've had those moments. I've had it maybe 2 years. I said before, I was just kind of thinking like, I know I want something else, but what do I want? And that's a difficult place to be in. But what I think can help is checking in and see what your talents are and where your joy is, as you always say. Finding out or journaling about what do I love to do, and then just kind of follow this feeling of joy and talents. I mean, I believe we have our talents for a reason. And me, for example, I know that some of my students say they feel I'm a very good teacher. So that's a talent that was given to me. and I fine-tuned it. And that's something that I can now use to help other people. So everybody has these talents. And when somebody feels totally lost, I don't know what I want, I don't know what I should do, especially now, where probably a lot of people are thinking about their lives and, what's coming. Just connecting with what gives you joy and what are my talents is a big clue.
And maybe it's something you forgot about because you were in school and told what to do, like for 9 years or even longer, we are told to do this and this, and now it's this time and this time. Maybe you had a dream as a kid, or you were painting all the time and your parents told you, don't paint, do your homework. Maybe there is some clue in your childhood, or like ask your little boy, your little girl, what did you enjoy? And in this world, every job is possible. I follow a Japanese guy on Instagram. He creates like miniature scenes out of normal day life goods, like what's a postage punchy,
a puncher.
A puncher?
I think
That's
so.
good. I can learn.
I'm not even sure.
like to put paper together. And then he has the puncher filling, like these little metal things, and he creates a train station something, and the little people are going through the station gate out of. It's just so cool. His creativity.
That's mind blowing.
And I mean, he makes his money with that.
Yes.
How cool is that?
How cool is that? Right. Absolutely. Well, I think the absolute most important thing about, what we want to be and who we are and what we want to become is really, it has to do with how much we believe in ourselves. It's really about believing that you can actually do anything, right? Where do you see it? No, show me which picture is it?
Yeah, now it's not my example. Wait a minute. What is a good example? Like here, that's in Japan, when they dig out the bamboo. What's that bamboo? Like the sprout coming out of the wood.
Are these pencils?
It's pencils, yeah, and
cool.
pencil. Yeah, it's just one.
So it's art. He's like creating art with just everyday art. Wow, that's really awesome. So he sees things differently from a different perspective. Cameras that turn into washing machines. That's amazing.
And I mean, he has exhibitions, calendars, and just doing what he loves. I mean, you see the love, and today you can make money with whatever crazy idea you have, and that's the beauty of it. And now everything is going more online. And don't think in old terms. Maybe you do. You work in a lice clinic while you build up your art business. We can combine, and
I think it's important to combine. Like, because I went through the stage where I just felt like I just want to do my self-employment, not understanding that I need a safe income, and next to it I build my self-employment. That's really important. Absolutely. It sounds a lot unromantic, but it's really important, because you kind of want to have that basis of your income or something stable.
And maybe at your boring job, part-time job, you meet the most amazing person to marry or to build a business or whatever.
Absolutely. And you never know what's around the corner again.
Absolutely. And maybe the grumpy client you are so nice to, and you make his or her day, and you get in touch, and she has this or that to offer you. If you are kind and from a fun place of your life, just because you choose, the good things will happen for you, and
they absolutely
magic.
Do. They do. It's like magic. And the simplest example is when you smile, somebody smiles back at you. I walk sometimes through the streets and I smile, and then I don't notice that I smile, but people smile back at me, and I'm like, oh, that's nice that they smile at me, and I'm like, oh, I am smiling myself. So it's like so simple, and with everything, it's like that. What you give will come back to you, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. So So if you really think my life is so crap and it's even shittier now because of this fucking virus,
Mm-hmm.
just make a list or write down how do you think, how do you show up, and maybe you find some things to change. And I don't
Absolutely.
say,
And really, I
oh
believe
God, fault.
listen to positive people. There's so much good stuff out there on YouTube, positive people, positive influencers, speakers that have a good attitude. Fill your mind up with that. Fill your heart up with that. And after a few days and weeks, you're going to start thinking like that. Surround yourself with that.
So switch off the TV and instead go to YouTube, and don't put in the
And
search word coronavirus. Put in the
no,
search
no.
word positivity.
And there is, for any taste, there's stuff out there. There's for religious people, positive messages out there. There is for any language, positive stuff out there. Like there's so many good people out there that you want to follow and you want to listen to, or just can be kind of your crutch right now when you really feel you're at a very, very low point.
And what's really important to me, I don't tell you it's your fault. You have to change, and you're not right yet. You are perfect, but you can choose who you want to become. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the human beings, all the beings on this planet, we are just perfect the way we are, and we have all the possibilities to become who we want to become. And that's the beauty of life. And like, as I said, you don't need a virus to die. You can die any moment because of a heart attack or whatever. So let's
Absolutely.
enjoy every single day. That's my
Mm-hmm.
philosophy. And sometimes people are annoyed,
Yep.
like, you're happy all the time. Yeah, I am. I'm really,
Well,
that's
it's
my
probably
focus.
because they would, they would like that too. Like sometimes when something annoys you, it's because deep down you would like that too. And I think everybody could get there.
Of course. And
And I
that's,
think the best thing that could happen to anybody, and I told my husband that last night, I said the best thing that could happen to anybody is just lose the fear. Since I have so much less fear, I'm not saying I'm fearless, but it just decreased by so much in the last few years because I've overcome so many situations. You are really free when you live without fear, when you know that nothing bad can happen to you. And I think then that's when you're really free.
and then you're also free of, what do other people think of me? That's such a
That's
huge
a fear
point.
too. That's
Yeah,
a
that's a
fear
fear
too.
too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
fear. And then if you don't, you're not afraid of that, you can be who you want to be. And again, then magic happens. But you have to
Mm-hmm.
take care of yourself. Could we wrap up our hour of talking with some tricks and tips, like how to manage yourself? What kind of habits do you have? You said meditation, but certainly you have more habits, like focus on positivity. Let's make a long list of what could you now implement and do to change your mindset and focus on joy. And if you're a
Yeah.
joyous person already, you can do even more, because there is always more, and not more money or more goods, just more joy and more fun and more
Right. So when I'm at a point where I feel low, when I've worked a lot or I didn't sleep much or I feel like I could be getting sick or anything that makes my energy low, we start to be negative as well, right? So then what I do when I'm in a negative mindset is just pamper yourself. Like what I do is the meditation, I lay down and nap. I love hot showers. I love sitting in the sun, so I go outside and sit in the sun. If it's cold, we make a fire and I take a blanket and I lay in front of the fire with a glass of wine. I talk to my husband. We talk about our fears, we talk about our hopes, we talk about our dreams, we talk about our kids. I play a game with my kids. I connect with people, I connect with friends. I do something good for somebody. The list is so long that makes you feel better, things that will really make you feel better. I think the clue is that when you don't feel good, when you're in anger, you're in pain, you're in fear, your body is telling you, or your mind is telling you, I need attention. And then give that attention to you. Pamper yourself as you were a little kid. And just give yourself everything that you need right now. And
but
it's
I
going to make a
can't, I have
difference.
no time. And now you have time.
Now you have time. Now you have time. Isn't that wonderful?
And
Yes.
some people don't have time, all the care workers and the people at the hospital.
No, that's absolutely right.
And even though it's so hard, like deep breathing and just being aware I'm alive, and it's just different levels of difficulty to stay in this mindset.
Absolutely. But I would say at the lowest and lowest points of me, the absolute lowest, my faith was always helping me. It always helped me. I could be in any kind of difficult situations about not being able to pay the rent or being completely stressed out, or like, you know, what you said about people working right now so many hours. I ask for strength. I pray. There was days where I prayed hours and hours and hours. And when you pray, you're not afraid. You can't pray and be afraid at the same time. It doesn't work. And if people don't want to pray, they can just have positive thoughts.
Or gratitude. Gratitude is
or gratitude. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Be grateful. That's what I did too. Make a list in your mind about everything that you're grateful for. You can't be afraid and be grateful at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Find what's true for you. Not everybody has the same beliefs, but find what works for you.
Gratitude. I have a joy challenge you can join for free, and the first exercise is write down a list of 100 things which bring you joy. And people are like, and I know when I heard that exercise the first time, like, 100, are you crazy? But when you start, you're like, oh wow. Yep. Like little things, you know. If you live at a place where winter is a season, like walking in the snow and this crunchy sound can make you feel a lot of joy, or just a little thing. And writing a list of 100, you get aware of, wow, or you can write a list of 100 things you're grateful for. That gives you a good feeling too.
Absolutely.
And then just your heart is beating, your lung is working, your body is here, you're healthy, focus on your health. Mm-hmm. And that makes you stronger in an instant, wherever you are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are many things you can do right now.
And then sometimes I feel in the morning, I'm not a morning person, I feel a little low. That would be maybe my last tip. I wake up and I feel low because I just woke up, but I'm not a morning person. And I'm thinking, what reason do I have to wake up today? What's the reason? I don't really have a reason. You know, that could be right now. People who can't go to work or anything. Why would I even get out of bed? And you feel low and you start getting into the negative mindset. And then I really ask the question, please give me a reason to get up today. And I wait there until the thought crosses my mind for my reason. It could be anything, you know. It could be, I could make breakfast for my kids, or I could go outside, or all the things I just talked about. But I think when you start talking and in your mind and start asking, your answer comes to you too.
I recorded a video like this, or a talk like this yesterday with Darren, and Darren asks himself every morning, how can I make a difference today? I love this question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of puts you right away in this service mentality. Always make a difference. Also make a difference for yourself. Like, write down my dreams, work on my dreams. Mm-hmm. Maybe learn a new language like German, or you can do stuff for yourself and for your dream, even little steps, and you feel empowered and in your power, and you make a difference for yourself or for others.
Absolutely, I love that. It's not about you. Then it's about somebody else.
It's not like making breakfast for my kids. Just make a difference is even a higher level of I serve the world, I serve myself, I serve whatever you believe in.
Right.
I like this question.
Yeah.
And also one other question could be, who could I surprise today, or make a present, write the letter, write the message, send a video message. Like, who could I surprise today is like this childish fun feeling. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Maybe even a prank, like scare somebody, if that's making you happy. My husband always sneaks into our apartment, and we have a long glass window in the kitchen door, and then he's like like this there, and I'm cooking or doing something. I'm like, I always,
Oh, that's funny.
he always scares me. I'm very an easy prey. And, yeah, do something. Decide in the morning what you want to do today. What brings you joy, and then everything is better.
Yes.
So tell us, how can people find you? Maybe they just want the coaching with you because you're awesome, and maybe they want to learn German. And how do they find you?
So my name is Swiss Miss Andi. So if you want to find me on my website or on my Instagram, you can just put at Swiss Miss Andi or www.swissmissandi with an I at the end.com. And I just put out a lot of German inputs and little videos, how to learn German. And yeah, that's how you find me.
But if I want to talk to you for an hour and pay you a coaching fee, that would be possible too, or you're not offering that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If somebody felt
I
like,
see you in the future, you know.
Well, yeah, and if somebody felt like, and I thought that too, you know, I'm at a similar stage right now, or I'm in a new country and I'm just starting out, or anything like that resonated with my story, and you would like to chat about that, absolutely, on my website, you can contact me. On my website, www.swissmissandi.com, there's a contact, and then I will absolutely get in contact with you and connect. I always love talking. Yes.
Perfect. And on my side, I can offer you the Joy Academy. That's all about mindset, all about joy for a whole year. You can book that. You can book coaching with me, private, one-to-one, or you can just follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and we will inspire you and influence you with joy so that you get into this positive mindset. And my name is Ronja Sakata everywhere, or joy is my compass is my hashtag on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. This was fun, Andi. We could do it again. And,
yes, I could do it all day long. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And just let's honor this internet again for making this possible. It's just so such a
magical time,
huge gift, and everything is possible. Thank you so much. Take care, and let's stay in touch, and everybody stay healthy and strong. And don't
stay healthy,
stay
positive. Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
If you liked this episode, I look forward to a review from you, and it would be so nice to hear from you what you liked best and what is your takeaway, and maybe it sparked some idea. You really are surprised to have this idea now, and you can go and create joy for your life. And please tell me about it. I would love to hear from you. My contact details, you will find them in the show notes. Have a wonderful day!